Hey there, everybody. Alex here from TTC Travel. I am going to be your tour guide through my test drive. We're talking about all the things and ways that you can prepare to get ready for a trip to make it as seamless as you can as we go along. And I am going to start with a confession. Here it comes. I check my bag. And I know you're saying to yourself, you are now an illegitimate travel advisor. I don't believe anything you say. But I have to tell you, I check my bag for two reasons. The first reason is because I'm a plus size traveler. My stuff is just bigger. And the second reason is because I don't want to drag my suitcase and battle those overhead compartments. And as a matter of fact, I don't like the people who battle the overhead compartments above my head. I always feel like that suitcase is going to fall down on top of me. That's just me. It's my way of making my trip a little bit more pleasant. And if you're okay with the never check in attitude that a lot of people have right now, I'm all for it. Do your thing. I'm just not one of them. That means I need a suitcase that's really good for check-in. And I have been super happy with recently with my newest suitcase. It's the Samantha Brown 26-inch spinner that she sells on HSN. If you don't know who Samantha Brown is, go ahead and give her a little goog on Amazon Prime. I think you'll find her there and on PBS as well. She's a great travel host and she does a pretty good job. She came out with the suitcase line and I'm thrilled with the results of what I've got. It's super square and it means that I can really fit everything in there the way I want to, especially with the trips that I take. I don't know that this is necessarily the suitcase for somebody who goes away for a weekend. I think there are other choices, and she's got smaller choices. I think this is the perfect, really long trip suitcase. And I go away for 3 to 3.5 weeks every summer to research and enjoy. So you can imagine I do need a suitcase that kind of meets those needs. Her 20-inch spinner is that perfect long weekend, week long traveler carry on piece, which she sells on HSN as well. So you can check out those two. And we have links through our show notes to our blog post that tells you all about how to find those pieces. Now that I have a suitcase, I definitely need to pack inside of them, and I want to talk about packing cubes. Packing cubes are a great source of satisfaction for a lot of travelers, but I gotta say, I don't know that they're always needed. I think that they're needed if you're going to be gone and you have to do laundry before you get back. That's kind of my litmus test. If you're just going for a long weekend, throw yourself in a suitcase and go, right? If you're going for, let's say, a week or less, I think you could probably skip the packing cubes, even the compression packing cubes. I don't know that you need them all. I will say this though, if you're going for more than 7 days, packing cubes may wind up being your best friend. They come in a lot of shapes and sizes. I like the ones that zip down. I think they allow you to have a little bit more room in everything you do. So I would definitely look for those. Now that I have a place to pack my clothes, though, I definitely want to make sure that I'm filling them up correctly. I have a couple of rules that I start out with before I ever think about what specific pieces I'm putting in there. Here are my 4 rules for my travel wardrobe. Everything is iron free, and I mean everything. Nothing needs to be pressed. Everything does double duty, and I mean everything. That means I can wear something during the day, I can wear it at night, I can wear it as an overpiece, I can wear it as an underpiece. It's got to be able to be used 2 different ways. Everything works in layers, and I mean everything because that's going to give me the most choice out of all the things that I'm bringing. And I only bring the very best shoes I can find that are well worn and nothing new. While they have to look good, I need to make sure that they work already. Bringing brand new shoes isn't going to help you at all. Now that I have all of those things in place, I'm ready to see what's going to work. So I'm going to give you the idea of what my plan is, and then I'm going to let you think about some of the things that I go with. So my plan is to be in Europe for about a month. I think about 3.5 weeks this coming summer. I'm spending a couple of days in Amsterdam. I'm going to take the Channel over to England. I'm going to do a little mini road trip there and then probably wind up in an Airbnb out in Paris before I come home. Pretty grand plans, and hopefully everything works out just right. I don't have anything particularly fancy, and I don't have anything particularly beachy. And those two ideas are going to help me a lot. Here's some of the things that I am starting to select out of my wardrobe. It's like, oh, I have to use those. I got a jumpsuit from Lane Bryant made out of super comfy cotton. It feels like I am wearing sweats to the gym, and it pulls together for an evening look like I can't get over. I'm really happy with it. I actually used it last summer on a European river cruise, and I am thrilled with the results of it. I think it's exactly what works on me, and it had no problems packing. It was not bulky. It worked really well. I bring 2 sets of workout gear, including tanks or leggings, socks, bra, right? All of those things so I can get a run or a walk in. I may be plus size, but that doesn't mean I'm stagnant, right? I still try to get out there and do what I'm doing. And I really test drive these items. When I use them at home, I walk right into the shower with them when I'm done with my workout, and I try to wash them right in the shower and look at how they turn out after they air dry. Do they air dry overnight so that if I'm leaving, it will pack dry? Did it look good? Did it wear well? Did it accept the soap well? Like all of those things kind of matter. And test driving those kinds of pieces can make life easier for you when you're on the road and you're out and about. Let's talk about unmentionables and underwear. It has to be comfortable, right? You don't want to be uncomfortable when you're in the Louvre, or you don't want to be uncomfortable when you're on a hike in the Swiss Alps or in Asia. Like, you don't want that. The good news is that water tends to be really good in Europe and Asia. And when you're there, you can really hand wash things in your hotel room sink or your Airbnb sink and let them air dry. Test out your bras and your panties, girls, so that you can check and see, will they clean up nicely? Would it be something you would wear again? Do you feel like they're fresh? Because that's going to cut down on so many things, including when you need to go and seek out a laundromat, and that's important. During the summer, I tend to stick to capris and tops because I can usually make those things work for day and evening. I'm pretty happy with them, and they look good after a few hours of touring any Borg or Berg in hot weather. And usually I can get 2 wears out of them. So they're pretty good all the way across the board. Then I think about those shoes, comfortable and lightweight. I tend to stick to about 3 pair. And again, this is a month, so I want you to think about this. I have those sneakers that are kind of like walking shoes. I can use them kind of with anything. And then I have a pair of flats that I can use to dress up. And then if I really need them, I'll bring a pair of flip-flops just to give my feet a break and to air them out a little, or if I'm doing a little bit of beach time. But I really do kind of take a step and take a beat on those flip-flops if I really truly need them. Usually I can get away with only needing 2 pair, at the most 3, and I'm gonna have one of those on, which means in my suitcase, I usually just have a pair of flats and those flip-flops, which zip up into one compression bag and take up the room of just 1 pair of shoes. So those are definitely all important things, and I will tell you, I do want to check and see if everything will fit correctly and will work the way I hope it will. So that's kind of the challenge. I actually have to run down to South Florida for my spring break, and I'm going to take along my items that I've chosen and kind of give them a bit of a test drive. South Florida is the perfect place. It's hot, it's humid, it's like those hot summer days in Europe that I'm going to enjoy. So I have quite a few days to see if my travel choices are winners or losers. Now, I will tell you, I have a couple of very specific things that I like. First of all, I'm addicted to those Bombas socks. And if you haven't seen those commercials for them yet, man, I really just like them. But not only that, they washed super well in the shower. I thought that they came out just as clean as if I had put them in a machine and a dryer. No worries, and they didn't have any elastic problems either. I use bamboo underwear, which is a huge winner in my world. First of all, it's eco-friendly and they wash and dry so well. I never have any problem in the morning when I've got to grab whatever I used the day before, which cuts down on how much I have to take and when I have to go seek out a little bit extra help. Leggings and tanks are always a winner. I like the leggings through dia.com, but my tanks can come right off of Amazon. I like them from there too. And of course, my running shoes, which I use as touring shoes, and I also use as kind of my walker throughout the trip. I have links to all of these things on our blog post, which I'm linking in the show notes. So that will help you understand all the different things that we're talking about today. So I have a couple of outfits that I want to try out. That Lane Bryant jumpsuit that we talked about, capris that are going to last 2 times each, and tops that can go from day to night. They've all got to do that stuff. And I'm also going to think about keeping my color palette kind of all the same, kind of blues and blacks and whites, kind of all in the same family so that everything mixes and matches and I don't feel like I'm getting clothes weary halfway through my trip. So now that I have everything picked out, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pack well before I'm ever going to leave. I'm going to pack the things that I think I want to take with me, and I'm going to put my suitcase completely packed in the corner of my closet and leave it there for 1 week. And I know this sounds extreme, but this really does make sure that you have no surprises on the other end. Let that suitcase sit, pack for a week so that you can see exactly how those clothes come out of all those packing cubes. Is everything super nice and neat or is it a wrinkly mess? It gives you a chance to substitute things in and keep trying. And those compression cubes can keep helping you edit down exactly what you need. Now, I know you may be saying to me, I already know a lot about my clothes and I know how they travel. That's great. If you're somebody who knows that, that's fabulous, but hear me out. Checking out to see what truly goes with what really does make a difference and does make things easier and keep you more organized when you're on the road, especially when you're hopping from place to place. When you're going to a resort or you're going on a cruise and you can hang everything up, that's great. It's wonderful. But that's not always the reality of the types of trips that we take. And if you are going to be hopping from place to place like I am, you're definitely going to want to make sure that that's part of what you consider, right? So now that you've done that, you're going to wear just those clothes that you've selected for a week. And don't stray from the pile of clothes that you've chosen. Did everything turn out comfy for a week? Can you use everything more than once? Did things wash in the shower? Are your shoes doing the job they selected? This is your chance before you have to make your final picks. And taking some time to do this well before you leave, make sure that you have a good head start in case you need to get anything, in case you want to make sure that you edit correctly, all of those things. So make those final picks and decide how long you will use your clothes before needing proper laundry service. Now, I certainly believe that you can get away with not needing any sort of laundry service if you're going 10 days or less. I think you can pretty much get away with it. You're just going to have to make sure that you pack the amount of unmentionables that you need, considering that you can hand wash, right? After 10 days, though, your clothes do need a proper clean, don't they? And we definitely need to think about that. So here's my thought: go ahead and look into where you would be around the 10-day mark or 11-day mark in your trip. Start seeking out where you could do laundry in that place and make sure that you allot enough time to either drop it off or use the machines. Like maybe that's the day that you get the Airbnb that has the washing machine in it so that you can get your clothes done and refreshed for the rest of your trip. It's certainly okay to come home with dirty clothes, but you can't keep wearing the same dirty clothes for another 2 weeks if you're going to be on an extended vacation, like many people who have the summer off, AKA teachers, do. We have to kind of fit it all in one go because the rest of the year we're pretty much overwhelmed with what's going on in the classroom. So I am going to take a considerable amount of time in the summer. That's where I get my rejuvenation from. That's where I get all of those great ideas that I bring back to the classroom from. Like it matters a lot to me. So I definitely want to make sure I have all of that. Last but not least, leave those travel clothes alone now. You want them looking great. You don't want them to be well worn. You've test driven them. You know what's going to work. Now step away so that you feel really great in them when you go to use them again for the first time on that trip. I hope test driving your travel wardrobe certainly helps you with your next trip. I know it definitely helps me with mine every time. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Babcia and Yia Yia Travel the World. The travel industry has taken quite a blow from several global issues, including the war in Ukraine, the COVID-19 crisis, and inflation, that makes it hard for people to get out into the world like they want to. At this point, leading experts are predicting that it is going to take up to 3 years for the travel industry to bounce back to full force. One way that you can help it is to like and subscribe to 10 microbloggers. Start with us. You can like and subscribe to our podcast and our website so that you can tell the travel industry that people are still interested in travel. So, Terry, how can listeners get a hold of us?
We'd like to hear from you. Contact us at babciandyaya@gmail.com with your questions, suggestions, favorite travel tips, products, and travel trends so that we can share your ideas in the future. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. Here you go, guys. Babci and Yaya, Babcia and YIA.
Babcianyaya.com is the home base for everything that we love about travel. And it's where we store our show notes as well as many of the resources that we offer to our travel community, including travel literacy for the kiddos. We always have new posts about all the things we love and about all the travel we're up to, including today's topic, as well as features on destinations, travel lifestyle, and stories to make you smile.
Didn't get all that? Just check out our show notes for all of the ways to stay in touch and links to anything we chatted about in this episode. As always, thanks for joining us for our journey.